Hey, this is Stu Schaefer, and I'm about to explain how do you lose weight fast, especially if you're a woman in menopause. Now, here's the problem. The way most people lose weight, we're going to talk about that in just a sec, actually wrecks your body and sets you up to fail. And if you're a woman in menopause watching, you can relate to this, I'm sure. I bet you've had a couple of these things happen where everything that you used to do that worked, it stopped working. It doesn't work anymore. Hey, I used to do this or I used to do that. I tried it again. I didn't lose any weight. In fact, I'm still gaining weight. Okay. Or maybe you've had this sudden weight gain. You're like, hey, woo, I turned 50 and gained 20 pounds. Woo, wow. That happens. Some of you watching will know that. It's very frustrating. And if it's happened to you, I understand. I'm not trying to make light of these things, but this is what happens. Or number 3, you say, geez, I have to be so strict to lose the weight. And then it comes right back on. Like one thing, I look at the bread, I smelled the donut, that caused me to gain weight. What the crap, okay? This is so common, it's a big problem. I'm gonna talk about why this happens and how to lose weight fast so that you don't wreck your body, you don't set yourself up to failure. You actually cause your body to start burning fat all the time automatically. Ka-ching. All right, so I'm gonna give you a couple examples of this. The first example is I had a client named Lynn in her 70s. And you can see how much weight she was able to lose. The good news is, ladies, if you have damaged your body, you can reverse it. And Lynn was able to do that. Look how much weight she lost. It was absolutely incredible. And she's in her 70s, okay? Next client I had, similar situation. Her name's Cheryl. Cheryl was in her late 60s, so almost 70, but her late 60s. Same thing, the doctor told her, sorry, you're in menopause now. You're just how it is. She had zero energy, kept gaining weight. She goes, this is a bunch of bull. I used to have tons of energy. No, I'm not going to settle for this thing about just menopause. She was able to lose weight very easily. You can see the difference in just a few weeks here. And her energy went all the way back to normal. She was never tired again. It was unbelievable. And lastly, Jody. Jody was an athlete. Same thing. In her 20s or 30s, no problem. No problem keeping the weight off or losing weight. In her 40s, something kind of shifted. By the time she hit 50, her body was just out of control. All the stuff she had been doing to stay thin and fit before was actually causing her to gain weight. And she was able to reverse it too. She lost 30 pounds and you can see the difference there. It's just, this is what happens. And unfortunately, women, you have it worse off than men, just the way your hormones are naturally. You have way more estrogen hormones and way less testosterone type hormones. This makes you more susceptible to stress. And if you're not careful, this can really cause you to wreck your body by doing some of the typical weight loss techniques. So let's look at what are those weight loss techniques. Well, generally speaking, when people try to lose weight, they do two things, either one or a combination of these two things. The first thing they'll do is they'll cut calories. Well, what do? They either, somebody says, just multiply your weight times 10, or some number that they give you. And that's the amount of calories that you need. And as long as you're eating that many calories, doesn't matter really what you eat. Just get the calories or less. And they say, you can't dispute that. The laws of nature, if you're in a calorie deficit, you'll have to lose weight. If you're watching, you probably know that's not true. I've had many clients who have cut calories. They ain't losing weight. And when we increase their calories, like we did with all 3 of these ladies, they lose weight when we increase their calories. Okay, this is why it's not just calories. So someone will either tell you to multiply your weight by a certain number, or you'll go online and fill out a bunch of stuff, your height and weight and this and that and age and da-da-da, and it spits out some number and says you need this many calories. Okay, you want to lose weight? Subtract between 300 and 500 calories and you'll lose weight. Well, what happens? This lowers your metabolism, first and foremost, and your body will adjust to it. And over time, your body will just get slower and slower. Your metabolism will get worse and worse, and it'll be damn near impossible to lose weight. Number 2, most of the time when you cut calories like this, you lose weight, but a lot of it's muscle. And when you're losing the muscle, that also causes your metabolism to slow down. So you get a double loss in metabolism, which is why all of a sudden, hey, I'm midlife now. Oh, I can't lose weight. And it's so easy to gain weight because over the years, you've set your body up. Now, there is a technical term for this. It's called repressed metabolic syndrome, RMS, repressed metabolic syndrome. And all that means is your body, it really stops burning fat. You've repressed your own metabolism. It's now very easy to store fat, and oftentimes you'll burn off muscle, okay? Now, the other thing that the calorie restriction or counting does, it leaves you really tired. It causes cravings, and this isn't good. And then lastly, it puts your body into this starvation mode. And this is the other thing that people don't realize. When the body goes into this starvation mode, it kind of locks down and it won't burn fat anymore. It's like, oh man, it feels like it's threatened. Like, if you're starving, say you're in a famine, the body goes, oh crap, let's just lock down to get us through this so we can survive this famine. And that's great for survival, but it's terrible for fat loss. And this is why the calorie restriction method, it's just terrible. And what will happen is, if you've ever done this before, is you'll cut calories and you'll lose weight, and then you'll hit a plateau. Then you have to cut calories again. You'll lose a little bit of weight, hit a plateau. And then you have to cut calories again. And over time, what you're doing is just wrecking your body. Repressed metabolic syndrome. And now all of a sudden, there'll come a time where now it's almost impossible to lose weight and very easy to gain weight. Now, we want to flip that. We want to make it easy to lose weight and very hard to gain weight. Now, the second way that people try to lose weight is exercise. They may not do the calories. They might just say, well, I'm eating right now and gaining a little bit of weight or maintaining. Surely if I do exercise, I'll have to lose weight, right? Well, there's a lot of different ways to exercise now. In the last video, we talked about cardio and how if you're doing that wrong or making that your primary mode or way of losing weight, it'll actually can make you fat. So what happens is this increases the stress. And for women, this is very bad. Up the stress and cortisol. Pretty soon, this can throw off your hormones even more and prevent you from losing weight. It can also decrease the muscle, depending on the type of exercise. For example, if you're like, hey, let me just do cardio. That burns fat, right? Cardio burns fat. So if I'm maintaining my weight now, I will just eat what I'm eating, and I'll just do cardio, and I'll burn off fat. Wrong. You'll also burn off muscle, and now you're back into repressing your own metabolism again. So this is why it can be so frustrating. Trust me, I understand. It's not so cut and dry. It can also put your body into that same starvation mode because you're exercising, and then the body's going, oh crap, geez, we don't have enough to sustain. We're going to die if we don't, lock down here. And then last is your body adapts to certain types of exercise. So what will happen is in the beginning, let's say you're just using the exercise method. You go, okay, I'm just going to exercise, and you start losing weight, and then you hit a plateau. Well, I guess I need to do more exercise, start losing weight, hit a plateau. Pretty soon you're exercising hours and hours a day, and I've had a lot of women like this who came to me who are exercising 2 hours a day, barely eating anything, because over time they would hit a plateau and eat less, and then exercise more and exercise more. This is not good, okay? You can't survive like that. It's terrible for the body. All right, now some people do a combination. Oh, let me cut calories and increase exercise. Obviously, that's the most common. Well, what's wrong with that? Again, if you don't do it right, and again, you should just never cut the calories. You don't need to. There's a better way. Now, I always get hate comments. People go, oh, you're saying you can be in a calorie surplus and still lose weight? Oh, yeah. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. You can. So let me explain this because, rather than asking me nicely in the comments, hey, that sounds weird. How do you do that? It sounds so counterintuitive. Well, let me just explain how it works. There's 3 things you can do with your body. You can burn fat or gain, I guess technically 4 things. You can burn fat or gain fat. You can burn muscle or gain muscle, or I guess you could just maintain. So you can eat in a certain way where you gain muscle and maintain your body fat. Well, that means you would be in a calorie surplus and not gaining any fat, okay? You could do things a certain way where you maintain your muscle and lose fat, okay? And you can also be in a mode where you gain muscle and lose fat at the same time. Now, the only way to gain muscle is to be in a calorie surplus. So technically, you can be in a calorie surplus and lose fat. Oh my gosh. So yes, you can. Now, how is that possible? Because when you stop focusing on calories and you start looking at how the body actually works, and I'm just going to say it, most people are too freaking stupid. They don't have a thorough understanding of the body, so all they focus on is calories. It's not that simple, folks. Our bodies are a little bit more complex than that. That's why all these coaches who do the calorie in, calorie out, most of them are in their 20s, and all their clients are in their 20s or 30s. When you get to the real age, 40 and up, the simple stuff doesn't work anymore. You got to actually know what you're doing. So here's what happens. When you eat a certain way, you can cause the food that you're eating to go to your muscles and not your fat cells, okay? Likewise, you can also cause the body when you're resting and sleeping and stuff to burn the fat and not the muscle. So now what happens is now when you're eating, all the food goes into your muscles. When you're not exercising and not eating, the body's now using your stored body fat as fuel. Hence, you can burn fat and build muscle at the same time, and you don't have to cut calories. Now you'll preserve your metabolism, you'll preserve your muscles, you won't be tired, you'll have no cravings, you won't risk going into starvation mode, and instead you'll increase that metabolism, you'll increase your body's ability to burn fat, you'll cause fat burning all the time, your energy will go up, your muscle will go up, which will also increase your metabolism, and you'll balance out your hormones because you're not starving yourself, you're not overstressing the body. This is called putting your body into a thermogenic state. This has to do with hormones, enzymes, chemical reactions in the body. And in order to do this, now listen now, you have to eat the right food at the right time and in the right combination at each meal. Now you have two options, okay? You can either just go with the calorie option. Bam, here's the calories. I'm going to decrease it, and then I'm not even going to worry about what I eat, and this is a terrible way to lose weight, but it can work. Just sets you up for failure and wrecks the body. Or you can say, okay, I'm going to create the right chemical reactions by eating the right food at the right time in the right combination. That way I don't have to decrease my calories. I don't have to do a ton of exercise. And I won't run any of the risks of wrecking my body. Instead, I'll do the opposite. And this is what I do. And my clients, they eat a lot more. They work out less. They get tremendous results. You saw some of the case studies. So let's break it down. How do you do this? Okay, well, look, I'm going to link right now. Boom, boom. Look up. I'm going to link to how to combine foods at each meal. You're going to watch that video. Okay, now you have a chance to click on that. Okay, now I'm going to link to another one. Okay, up here again, it's going to change. Now I'm going to link to the timing of foods video. So now you can click on that one. Okay, now one more. Okay, I'm going to put it up here again. I'm going to link to the different types of carbohydrates. So now that's up there. Okay, so you can watch all three of those and really get a little bit more in depth. A lot of people ask me, well, does it just matter what I get during the whole day? Or does it matter per meal? It matters per meal because each time you eat, that meal is going to have a different chemical reaction. Let me give you an example. If you ate a meal that was just a big bowl of fruit, that's going to cause you to store fat, okay? If you ate a meal that was just, say, a chicken breast, not going to store fat, okay? Now, each of these meals is not combined correctly. It's on the extreme. When you combine it correctly, that's what speeds up your metabolism and causes the fat burning and feeds your muscles. So now when you're eating, you can smile because you know what you just ate is going to go into your muscles and not your fat cells. And then when you're working, resting, sleeping, you can still smile because you know your body is going to be burning fat, not the muscle. This is the key. So if someone said, hey, if you're trying to lose weight fast, what do? Don't cut calories, don't overexercise. Figure out how the body works. You start getting the right food at the right time in the right combination. You're going to start losing weight like this, like Lynn did, like Cheryl did, like Jody did, without having to starve and without wrecking your body. The problem is this is a little bit different for everyone. Okay, people react differently to different types of carbs. Obviously, well, some people can eat gluten, some people can't. Some people can have grains, and some people can't. Different people are going to react to different types of proteins and different fats. And this is why you need to view food as medicine. Too many people overestimate their ability to lose weight. They oversimplify this. They think it's just calories. View it as medicine. If you had a medical problem, you go see a doctor who can diagnose you and look at your health history and your blood work and your body and prescribe the right thing for you. There are not many out there, okay? Not many good coaches out there. Most of you probably know that by now, who can really dial you in and figure out what you need so that you don't have to restrict calories and you don't have to overexercise. You should still exercise. You got to do the right kind, whether it's weights or resistance training or yoga or Pilates or stretching or cardio. They're the right kind for everybody, depending on what your goals are, really, and where you're starting from. Now, on the next video, I'm going to share my tricks. You can't even see that. Ugh, my tricks. What do I use? What are my tricks? Because I don't spend a lot of time at this. 3 days a week, about 30 to 40 minutes tops. And I don't even like to cook that much. I don't food prep. I'm going to share my tricks with how I've learned to make this so easy, very sustainable, and what I do to really keep myself in awesome shape, and not only looks-wise, but health-wise. All right, we'll talk then. I hope this was helpful. Take care.